Good morning children, welcome back once again to my grammar class. Now here I have come up with one more exercise on conjunctions. And students, I am sure the various classes you have attended, the previous all classes, you must have learnt about the different kinds of conjunctions. Yes, my dear students, the three different kinds of conjunctions are subordinating conjunctions, coordinating conjunctions, and finally correlative conjunctions. Now here we have an exercise and we have as many as 4 questions which we shall solve here. Let us read the first question, students. He is ill dash, he cannot play. He is ill dash, he cannot play. Now it is quite clear from the sentence that the subject, which is he is unable to play. It is said here he cannot play, means he doesn't have the ability to play. He cannot play. And why is he unable to play, my dear students? Because of his illness. The reason is that he is ill. He has illness, must be suffering from some kind of illness, and that is the reason why he is unable to play. So what we need to put here, what conjunction should we use here, students? Yes, the conjunction which will tell or which shows the reason. So if we use here the coordinating conjunction, so if we fill this blank with the coordinating conjunction, so the sentence stands meaningful. It tells us clearly the reason why the subject is unable to play. It is because of his illness. So such a kind of reason can be shown with the help of the conjunction so. So the sentence is now he is ill, so he cannot play. So the reason of his not being able to play is his illness. He is unable to play because of his illness, which has been shown with the help of the conjunction so. Come to the second question, my dear students. The dash is there in the beginning, after which we have I am poor dash I am poor, I cannot help you. So I have poverty, I don't have money enough, I don't have wealth enough. So I have some kind of financial crisis, and that is the reason I cannot help you. I am not in a position to help you because there is no money left with me. I don't have money enough. So if I have money, I may be able to help you. Right now I don't have money, and that is the reason why I am not in a position to help you. Now once again it is looking for some kind of reason. So we have to fill the blank with such a conjunction which shows reason. So if we fill this gap with as, because the conjunction as also shows reason. It is used to show reason. Now read the entire sentence, students. As I am poor, because I am poor or I have poverty, I cannot help you. That's the reason why I am not in a position to help you. So as seems to be the most appropriate conjunction here. Come to the third question, students. The patient had died dash the doctor came. The patient had died dash the doctor came. Now students, here I need to tell you something very important which will help you in future also. This is very important, and I have seen many students make this mistake. Now if you look at the sentence carefully, you will find that there are two parts, two sentences, in fact two clauses. Now that these two clauses we have to join with the help of an appropriate conjunction. Now there are two actions. One action is referring to the death of the patient. The patient had died, means it is referring to the death of the patient. And one more action is there. The doctor came, means the coming of the doctor. Whenever you find such a kind of sentence where there are two parts and there are two actions, you may say, of course two actions, and that is why there are two parts or two clauses, two sentences. Always remember, my dear students, the action that takes place earlier than the other. What did I say, students? Of the two actions, one action, the death of the patient. Another action, the coming of the doctor. You have to compare these two. Now, the one which you think must have taken place earlier than the other will always follow past perfect tense. And that is why, look here, the patient had died. I am sure you all know, had died, this one is used in past perfect tense. So, of the two actions, the action that takes place earlier than the other will always follow past perfect tense, and that is why this particular part has been constructed with that particular tense, which is past perfect tense. The patient had died and finally the doctor came. Means the doctor came later. When the doctor visited, when the doctor came, by that time the patient had already died. So when the doctor turned up there, when the doctor arrived there, the patient was no longer alive. It means the death of the patient must have taken place earlier than the coming of the doctor. And the action that takes place next, means later, that follows simple past tense, and that is why the doctor came means it is constructed in simple past tense, because that action has taken place later than the death of the patient. So always remember the students, for conjunctions like after and before, whenever you are using after and before in such a kind of sentence where there are two parts, there are two actions, always remember, suppose you are joining these two kinds of these two parts or these two sentences and you are using either before or after, always remember, please notice that the action which has taken place must have, it must have been constructed using past perfect tense. That is why the patient had died, past perfect tense, the doctor came, simple past tense. A very simple kind of thing. So if we fill this gap with the help of before, the sentence, I am sure you all will agree with me, the sentence stands meaningful. The patient had died before the doctor came. So when the doctor came, the patient was no longer alive. He had died before that, before the coming of the doctor. So in such a kind of situation, we generally fill the gap with after or before. And let me tell you once again, because you all should remember this very carefully. This is a very good thing and very important as well, that whenever you construct a sentence like this, maybe in a paragraph or somewhere else, you must remember, wherever you are joining two clauses with the help of after or before, always remember the action that takes place earlier must follow past perfect tense, and the one that takes place later will follow simple past tense, like this, the doctor came. Okay, very nice. Come to the last question. Here we have the gap in the beginning. First the gap, dash, they were weak, they won the battle. They were weak, they won the battle. Now my dear students, if I ask you, those who are weak, can they win the battle? Generally they cannot. Those who are strong, they generally win a battle. But if it happens something like this, you were weak, still you won the battle, it is something unexpected. It is something unexpected because beyond expectation, it shows a kind of impossibility. In spite of being weak, you won the battle. How is it possible? Arises a kind of question in our mind. How have they won the battle? They were weak. How have they won the battle? So anywhere, in any condition, when you find such a kind of sentence which shows a kind of impossibility, it should not take place, but it has taken place. There, my dear students, the most appropriate conjunction is though. So if we fill this gap with though, the sentence becomes, though they were weak, they won the battle. So it was not expected from them. They should have lost the battle, yet they won the battle. So it clearly shows a kind of impossibility. In such a kind of situation, my dear students, we always fill the gap with the conjunction though. So I hope all of you have understood. Here we come to the end of this exercise. I shall come to you with more exercises in days to come. Thank you so much for attending the class.